Hi year one, hope things are still going okay at home. I'm super excited that it's just 1 week and 1 day from this video that you'll be back in the classroom. Well, 1 week, 1 day and the weekend. But that's still super exciting for me because I'm so excited for you to come back and let's do lots and lots of fun learning together. So we're just going to carry on looking at counting backwards in twos today. So we're going to look at this using our number line today to help us. So we're going to start with 24. So we're going to start with the whole, which is 24. We're going to count backwards in twos. So I'm counting backwards in twos. I'm effectively or basically taking 2 away each time. So I'm starting on 24 and I'm taking 1, 2 counters away. So I've got 2 less counters and I can represent that with arrows. So I'm going 1, 2 spaces. So how many have I got left now? So I've started, my pen's a little bit thick. I've started on 24, still a little bit thick. That one. And how many have I got left now? Got 22 left. Fantastic. Okay, so I want to count back in twos again. So I'm taking away 1, 2 more. I've taken away 2 more. And I want to represent that number lines. I'm going to get back 2 spaces. 1, 2. 2 spaces back. How many have I got left? How many counters do I have left now? What place am I on my number line? I am on 20. What do I want to do next? I want to carry on counting backwards in twos. What do I need to do next? I need to take away 2 more counters, 1, 2, and I need to take back 2 spaces. So 1, 2. My remaining part is 18. So I've taken away 2 more counters, and that is how many counters I have left. I've got 18 counters left. Brilliant. So we're going to take away 2 more because we're counting backwards in twos. 1, 2. And we're going to move back 2 places. 1, 2. How many counters have I got left now? How many counters have I got left now? My remaining part is 16. Fantastic. Okay. Now we're going to take away 2 more counters because we're counting backwards in twos. 2 more counters away. We're going to draw that on my number line. 2 spaces. 1, 2. How many counters have I got left? How many counters have I got left? I've got 14 counters left. Fantastic. Okay. Take away 2 more counters. 1, 2. Count back 2 spaces. 1, 2. What is my remaining part? My remaining part is 12. Brilliant. Counting back in twos, taking away 2 more spaces. 2 more spaces, 2 more counters I'm taking away, and I'm jumping back 2 more spaces on my number line. 1, 2. What is my next number going to be? What is the remaining part? The remaining part is 10. Okay, what do I need to do next? Counting backwards in twos. I need to take away 2 counters. Take away 2 counters, which is the same as jumping back 2 spaces on my number line. So 1, 2 spaces. My remaining part is 8. Right, I'm going to take away 2 more counters. 2 more counters. 1, 2. I'm going to start on my whole, which is 8. I'm going to jump back 2 places. 1, 2. My remaining part is 6. I'm going to take away 2 more counters. 1, 2. I'm going to jump back 2 spaces. 1, 2. My remaining part is 4. I'm going to take away 2 more counters. 1, 2. I'm going to start on my first part. I'm going to jump back 2 spaces, and my remaining part is 2. I'm going to take away 2 more counters. I'm going to start on my first part. So my first part is 2. I'm going to jump back 2 more spaces. 1, 2. My remaining part is 0 because there are 0 counters left on my number line. So we're going to saying these, counting in twos backwards from 24. Ready? 20, 4, 22, 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Can you have a go at that with me? One more time. 24, 22, 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Fantastic, year one. Fantastic. Okay, year one, your skill sharp is now on the board. If you can complete this at home and send it in, if you want it to be looked over, that'd be fantastic. So we're looking for the numeral representation, of each number. up to 20, the word for each number up to 20, and a counter representation for each number. You can pause this screen and copy it off here. You can download and print it off the school website, or you can pick a copy of this up from school. Fantastic. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at ordering smallest to largest in numbers. Okay, let's look at these three numbers and see if we can break them into two different parts. Let's look at our first number. So we've got pencils here. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 pencils. 9 1 pencils. Fantastic. I want to break 9 into two parts. I want to break it into its 10s and 1s. So how many 10s does 9 have? How many 10s does 9 have? 9 has 0 10s. Because it has 0 10s, I've got nothing in my first part. How many 1s does 9 have? How many 1s does 9 have? 9 has 9 1s. 1, 2, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 has 9 1s. Brilliant. Let's look at our boats now. So how many boats do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have 17 boats. Fantastic. I want to split 17 into two parts. So I want to split it into its 10s and its 1s. So how many 10s are there in 17? Well, I can see that my 10s are here and I have 1 10. So I'm going to put my 1 10 down here. Oh, it says, oh dear. So my 1 10 can go down here. Fantastic. How many 1s do I have? How many 1s do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1s. So I've got 1 10, which you can see here, and 7 1s, which I can see here. So 1 10 and 7 1s. Okay, let's look at our trees now. How many trees do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 trees. 11 trees. I want to split 11 into two parts. So first of all, I want to split it into its 10s. So how many 10s are there in 11? Well, let's see. I can see 1 10 here. 1 10 here. Don't know why it's doing this. I just did this. 1 10 here. And how many 1s can I see? I can see 1 1. So 11 has 1 10 and 1 1. Now I want to order these from the smallest to the largest. So I'm going to start by looking at the 10s. So how many 10s does 9 have? How many 10s does 9 have? Well, 9 has 0 10s. How many 10s does 17 and 11 have? Like I said, 17 has 1 10, because I can see 1 10 here, and 11 has 1 10, because I can see 1 10 here. So if 9 has 0 10s, but 11 and 17 have 1 10 each, which is the smallest of those numbers? Which is the smallest? Well, I know it is 9 because 0 10s is smaller than 1 10. So 9 is the smallest. Fantastic. Now I want to know which is the largest. I want to know which is the largest. So one of my numbers is 17 and one is 11. They both have 1 10. I can see 1 10 here and 1 10 here. So now I'm going to look at how many 1s they have. 17 has 7 1s and 11 has 1 1. Well, I can see that 7 1s is more than 1 1. So that means 17 is the largest. So I can order my numbers by putting them in the smallest to the largest, like this. So smallest is 9, 17 is the largest, and I've put 11 in the middle. Okay, so now I want to have a look at sequencing these groups of numbers. So these ones are in tens frames. Okay, so I want to sequence these groups from smallest to largest, from smallest to largest. So let's have a look at what these groups are. So like I said, I've got one full tens frame here. So I've got one full tens frame. How many tens does that represent? How many tens does one full tens frame represent? It represents 110. So I'm going to draw out 110 in my Deans. I'm going to draw out 110. 110, fantastic. Is this tens frames full? Is this tens frame full? No. So this is not 110. This is my ones. How many ones do I have? Well, I know I've got 5 along the top, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 110 and 8 ones. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 110 and 8 ones. Okay, now I want to look at my next number. So my next number has does it have any full tens frames? Does it have any full tens frames? No, it only has an unfull tens frame. So it has 0 tens. And how many ones does it have? Well, no, it has 5 ones up here, 6. So it's got 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's look at our last number. So how many full tens frames does our last number have? Well, I can see 1 full tens frame here. So 1 full tens frame here. And I can see 1 tens frame that is not full. So this must be my 1. So how many ones do I have? Well, I can see my top row is full. So I know that is 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. Okay, so I've now got my 3 numbers. I know my numbers are 110 and 8 ones. I know this number is 18 because it's got 110 plus 8 ones is 18. I know that this number is 6 because I've got 6 ones here. I've got 5, 6 ones. This number is 6. And this number is 110 plus 5 ones, which is 15. And I want to know which is the smallest and which is the largest. Well, I can look at my tens frames and I can see that there are more counters in this number here. This number has the most counters because it has 1 full tens frame, which this one also has, but this one has a full row of 5 and then 6, 7, 8. So this is my largest number because I can see it has the most counters, it has the most Deans in tens and ones, it is the biggest number. So this is the largest number. I now want to know which is my smallest number. So it's going to be between these two. I want to know which is the smallest number. Well, I can see that this number here has less counters than the other one. So 6 has less counters than 15. And I can see my Deans, I've got 6 ones, whereas 15 has 5 ones and 110, which we know is the same as 10 ones. So I know that 6 is my smallest and 18 is my largest. Okay, so let's have a look at these numbers here. So first of all, we're going to look at which is the smallest and then which is the largest number. So we'll look at the groups and find out how many counters are in each group. So let's have a look at our first group. How many counters do we have in our first group? So do we have any 10s? So for a 10, we need 10 ones. 10 ones in a tens frame looks like a full frame. So do we have any full frames in our first group? No, we do not. So we have 0 tens. Fantastic. How many ones do we have? So how many ones are left over? How many ones are in our frame that is not full? Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 0 tens plus 4 ones equals 4. We've got 4 is this number. Let's look at our next lot. So have we got any full tens frames? So we're looking for a tens frame with 10 ones in is the same as 110. Have we got any full tens frames? No, so we've got 0 tens. And how many ones do we have? How many ones do we have? We've got 0 ones as well. So our number is 0. Our number is 0. Fantastic. Okay. And our last number, let's have a look. How many tens do we have? How many tens do we have? We've got no full tens frames. So we have 0 tens because we're looking for a full tens frame, which is the same as 10 ones. How many ones do we have in our incomplete tens frames? This tens frame has spaces. So this is our ones. How many ones do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ones. So now I want to know which is the smallest and which is the largest. Well, I can see from my counters on my frames that the smallest amount is 0 because there is no tens frames here. There's no counters in my tens frames, so this is my smallest amount. Smallest amount. Ooh. Now I want to know which is my greatest amount, my largest amount. Which is my largest amount? Well, I know that 8 ones is larger than 4 ones, and I can see here that there is more counters here than there is here. So this is my largest amount. Fantastic. I would like you, year 1, to pause this video and have a go at this one here and come back when you're ready to check it together. Fantastic. Okay, so let's look at each amount and work out how much is in each amount. So here, how many complete tens frames do we have? So a complete tens frame is going to have 10 ones in it, which we know is the same as 1 10. So here I have 1 complete tens frame, so that's the same as 1 10. Fantastic. And then looking for my tens frame here, that is incomplete. So this is my ones. How many ones do I have in this tens frame? I have 1. So 1 10 plus 1 1 equals 11. Fantastic. Let's look at my next number. How many complete tens frames do I have? How many tens frames do I have that are full? There are 0 tens frames that are full. How many tens frames do I have then that have counters in that are not full? I can see 1 here. So this is my ones. How many ones do I have? I have 1, 2 ones. So 0 tens plus 2 ones equals 2. So we've got 11 here and 2 here. Okay, here I have a full tens frame here. This is a full tens frame. So 1 full tens frame. I've got any more full tens frames? No. So 1 full tens frame is the same as 10 ones, which we know is the same as 1 10. So 1 10 plus how many ones? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. 1 10 plus 5 ones. So 1 10 plus 5 ones equals a whole, which is 15. So now I want to know which is the smallest amount. Well, let's look at our 3 groups here, our 3 groups of numbers, and can we spot which is our smallest amount? Where do we have the least counters? Well, I think it's this one, and I can see that this number, which is number 2, has 0 tens, whereas the other numbers have 1 10, which is the same as 10 ones. So I know this is the smallest number. 2 is the smallest number. Smallest. Fantastic. And now looking for the largest number. So we're going to move between 11 and 15. Well, 11 has 1 10 and 15 has 1 10. So far they have the same amount of tens. So now we're going to look at their ones. So 11 has 1 1 here, whereas 15 has 5 1. So which is larger, 1 1 or 5 1s? Because they've got the same amount of tens. Which is larger? 15 is larger, so 15 is the largest. Oh, Miss Eyre struggles to write with her mouse. Fantastic. Okay, now we're going to look at these. So I want to sequence these groups. So this here, what number is this to start with? So it's saying in this pack of crayons here, there are 10 crayons. So 10 crayons in here. And then how many crayons do I have in addition to my 10 crayons? So I have 1 group of 10. What is 10 the same as? What is 1 10 the same as? 1 10 is the same as 10 ones. So in my pack of 1 10, I have 10 ones. So I have 1 10, and then how many ones do I have? How many ones do I have in this picture? I have 2 ones. So 1, 2 1. So 1 10 plus 2 ones equals my whole, which is 12. Fantastic. Okay, let's look at my next number. Let's write that down underneath. So we've got 1 10 plus 2 ones. My whole is 12. Our next picture, our next group has 1 group of 10. What is 1 10 the same as again? Have a little think. 1 10 is the same as 10 ones. Fantastic. 1 10 is the same as 10 ones. And then we've got how many ones left over? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 1 10 and plus 4 ones. So how do we write that? What number does that make? 1 10 plus 4 ones equals a whole, which is 14. Fantastic. Okay, let's look at this group here. So we've got 1 10 again. One pack of full crayons is the same as 1 10. 1 10 is the same as 10 ones. So we can start with 10. And then we can see we've got 1, 2, 3 1. So 10, 11, 12, 13. Because I know I can start with 10 because there's 10 here. Count on 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so 1 10 plus 3 ones. Oh, that's a terrible 3. 3 ones equals a whole, which is 13. Now we want to know which is the smallest and which is the largest. So let's look at our 3 amounts. Well, we can see they've all got 1 10. 1 10, 1 10, 1 10, 110, 110, 110, and 110, 110, 110. So they all have the same amount of tens. So now we need to look at the ones. So this one has 2 ones, 2 ones. This one has 4 ones, and this one has 3 ones. So which is the smallest amount? 2 ones, 4 ones, or 3 ones? Well, I know that this is the smallest amount. 12 is the smallest amount. So I'm going to say that this one is the smallest, because 12 is the smallest amount. Fantastic. Now I want to know which is the largest amount. What I've got left is 14 and 13, and which is the largest amount? So 14 has 1, 2, 3, 4 ones and 1 10. They've both got 1 10, so we're just going to look at how many ones they've got. 14 has 4 ones and 13 has 3 ones. Which is larger, 4 ones or 3 ones? Well, I know 4 ones is larger because I can see that 4 is more than 3. So I know that 14 is the largest amount. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So how many have I got here? What have I got here? I have, let's move it all out the way so I can use it. So what numbers do we have? Like I said, I've got 1 pack of 10 here, 1 10 and 3 ones. 1, 2, 3 ones. 1 10 plus 3 ones equals, what does that equal? Equals 13. Fantastic. 1 10 plus 3 ones. My next group, I have, how many 10s do I have? I have 1 10, and how many ones do I have? Oh, I have 0 ones. So if I've got 1 10 plus 0 ones, what number is that? It is 10. Fantastic. And in my last group, I have 1 10, I can see here, and 2 ones. 1, 2 ones. What number does that make? Well, I've got 1 10 and 2 ones equals my whole, which is 12. 1 10 and 2 ones equals 12. Now I want to know which is the largest amount first. Which is the largest amount? Well, I can see that all my amounts have 1 10. So 1 10, 1 10, 1 10, 1 10, 1 10, 1 10, 1 10, 1 10, 1 10. So they all have 1 10. So now we need to look at their ones to compare their ones. Now I want to know which is the large amount, which is the greatest, and which is the biggest amount. So this one has 3 ones, this one has 0 ones, and this one has 2 ones. So what is the largest? 3 ones, 0 ones, or 2 ones? So I know that 3 is larger than 0 and 2. So the largest is 13. I know that 3 is larger than 0 and 2 because I can see it's 1, 2, 3 is larger than 0 and 2. And now I want to know which is the smallest. So I know it's not going to be 13. Is it 10 or 12? Or what is smaller, 0 or 2? Which of those numbers is smaller? 0 is smaller than 2, so 10 is my smallest amount. Fantastic. Okay, I want you to pause your screens and have a go at this one, please, and come back when you are ready to check it. Fantastic. Okay, let's have a look at what numbers we've got here. So we've got 1 10 here, 1 10, and how many ones do we have in this image? We've got 1, 2 ones. What number does that make? If it's got 1 10 and 2 ones, the whole is 1 10 plus 2 ones, it's 12. Fantastic. This number has 1 10, 2 10s. Does it have any ones? No. So this number has 2 10s. And how many ones does it have? 0. This number is 20. And finally, this number has 1 10. So 1 10, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. This number has 1 10 and 5 ones. And now I want to see which is the largest number. Which is the largest number? Well, I'm going to look at how many 10s they have first. So this number has 1 10. This number has 2 10s, and this number has 1 10. Okay, so out of 1 10, 2 10s, and 1 10, which is the largest amount? Which is the largest amount? We look at 10s first. Well, I know that 2 10s is larger than 1 10. So this is the largest amount. because it has more 10s than the other ones. We don't need to look at the ones yet because I can see that 2 10s is always going to be more than any number that only has 1 10. Now I want to know the smallest amount. So the smallest amount, so this number 12 has 1 10 and 15 has 1 10. So now we're going to look at the ones. So 12 has 1, 2 ones. And 15 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So which is the smallest amount? 2 or 5? Which is the smallest amount? 2 or 5? Well, I know the smallest amount is 2 is the smallest amount because 2 is smaller than 5. Let's have a go at this one. We're going to write these numbers in the correct order. And we have a number line here to help us. So let's have a look at what these numbers are. So we've got 3. How many 10s are there in 3? There are 0 10s. How many 1s are there in 3? Have a little think. There is 1, 2, 3 1s in 3 and 0 10s. Then we look at 12. 12 has 1 10. And how many 1s? 1, 2 1s. Fantastic. And our last number is 0. How many 10s does 0 have? Well, 0 has 0 10s. And how many 1s does it have? Well, it also has 0. And we can also look at these numbers on a number line. So here I have 3, I have 12, and I have 0 down here. 0 is not on this number line, but I can draw it on down there. I want to know which is the smallest and put them in order. So the smallest is going to be, well, I can see from my Deans that 0 has no 1s and no 10s. So I know that 0 is the smallest. And on my number line, the smallest numbers are going to be closer to this end. And 0 is the smallest number on this number line. Fantastic. Okay, now I want to know the largest number. Well, let me look at my Deans. So 12 has 1 10 and 2 1s, and 3 has 3 1s. So if 12 has 1 10 and 3 has 0 10s, I know that 12 is larger. And I can see on my number line that 12 is further along the number line. It's a bigger number than 3. And I'm going to put my 3 in the middle because that is what is left. Let's have a look at this one. So here we have some numbers. We've got 16, 20 and 12. Let's make those up with our Deans. 16 has how many 10s? Let's have a look at it. So where are my 10s? Well, my 10s always come first. My 10s are here. So I have 1 10. Fantastic. Put it down here. And how many 1s do I have? So 1s come after 10. So I have 6 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 1 10 and 6 1s. Fantastic. My next number is 20. So my 10s come first. So how many 10s do I have? How many 10s do I have? I have 2 10s. 1, 2 10s. Okay. How many 1s do I have in 20? Let's have a look. My 1s come after my 10s. Oh, I have 0 1. So I have 2 10s and 0 1s. Fantastic. Okay. And lastly, my number is 12. My 10s come first in my 12, so I have 1 10 that I can see here. And how many 1s do I have? I have 2 1s. 1, 2 1s. Okay, so now I've got my 3 numbers represented in my Deans. I want to know which is the smallest number to start with. Which is the smallest number? Well, let's start with the 10s. Well, 16 has 1 10, 20 has 2 10s, and 12 has 1 10. So which has the most amount of 10s? Which has the most, which has the, I've gone the wrong way here. We're looking for the smallest number. So we know that 20 has the most 10s. In fact, I'm going to put 20 up here because I know 20 is the largest number because 20 has 2 10s, and 2 10s is always going to be bigger than any number with 1 10. So 2 10s, 20 is the largest number. I'm now going to look for the smallest number. Both these numbers have 1 10. Both of these numbers have 1 10. So I know that those parts are the same. So I'm now going to look at the ones. I'm looking for the one with the smallest number. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. And this number has 2 1s. So 16 has 6 1s and 12 has 2 1s. What is smaller, 6 1s or 2 1s? 2 1s is smaller, so 12 is the smallest number, and I'm going to pop 16 in the middle. Fantastic. Okay, I'd like to pause your screens and have a go at this one and come back when you're ready to check it together. So let's have a go at breaking these numbers down into tens and ones. So 9, number 9, how many tens are there in 9? There are 0 tens in 9, fantastic. How many ones are there in 9? Well, I know that there are 9 ones in 9. So 9 looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 ones in 9. Fantastic. And now I'm going to look at my next number. My next number is 18. So how many tens are there in 18? How do I find the tens again? Where do the tens come in a number? The tens come first. So here are my tens. I have 1 10 followed by how many ones? How many ones come after my 1 10? Because ones always come after my tens. I have 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, not quite got it. 8. Fantastic. Now my last number is 14. How many tens are there in 14? Well, to find my tens, I know in 2-digit numbers, my tens come first. So here are my tens. How many is this number? I have 1 10. 1 10 in 14. Fantastic. After my tens are my ones. So how many ones do I have? I have 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 ones. Fantastic. So I've now broken my numbers down into 2 parts, their tens and their ones. And now I want to know which is the largest number. Which is my largest number? Well, 9 has 0 tens, and 18 has 1 10, and 14 has 1 10. So I know that 1 10 is always going to be greater and larger than 0 tens. So now is 18 or 14 larger? Because we've got the same amount of tens. So 18 has 1 10 and 14 has 1 10. Which is the larger number? Well, I'm going to look at their ones, and I know that 18 has 8 ones and 14 has 4 ones. So what is larger, 8 or 4? Which is larger? Have a little think. 18 is larger because 8 ones is larger than 4 ones. Which is my smallest number? Which is my smallest number? Well, I know that 9 is my smallest number because it has 0 tens and the other two both have 1 10, which means 14 goes in the middle. Fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look at some more items and some more groups of numbers. So Tim orders these objects. So he says that there's 3 hats, 8 pens, 15 cups, and 10 pegs. So let's see if Tim is correct. So Tim is correct or incorrect because, let's have a look. So he's got 3, 8, 15, 10. Is that ordered from smallest to largest? So how can I solve this? Let me have a little think. I think I can use my deans to represent each of these numbers. So if I use my deans to represent each of these numbers, I've got 1, 2, 3 hats, because 3 has 3 ones and 0 tens. Fantastic. So 8, how many tens are there in 8? Have a little think. There are 0 tens in 8. So how many ones are there in 8? There are 8 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. 15. How many tens are there in 15? So in 2-digit numbers, the tens come first. So how many tens are there? There's 1 10. Fantastic. And then ones come after my tens. There are 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. Fantastic. And last number, there are 10 pegs here. In 2-digit numbers, the tens come first. How many tens are there? There is 1 10, followed by how many ones are there? How many ones are there in this number? There is 0 ones. So here I've got all my numbers represented by deans, and we want to make sure that each number in order is larger than the number before it. So is 3 the smallest amount? Well, 3 has 0 tens and 3 ones, and that is smaller than 8 ones and 1 10 and 5. And it's going to be smaller than any number with 1 10. So 3 is in the correct place, because 3 is the smallest number because it's smaller than any number that has a 10, because any number with 0 tens is smaller than any number with 1 10. We know that 3 is smaller than 8. So our next number is 8. So we know that 8 is larger than 3. Is 8 smaller than 15 and 10? Well, 8 has 0 tens and 15 has 1 10 and 10 has 1 10. So 8 is smaller than 15 and 10 and larger than 3. So 8 is in the correct place. 15. 15 has 1 10 and 5 ones. Is that bigger than 8? Is that larger than 8? Yes. 15 is larger than 8 because any number with 1 10 is going to be larger than a number with 0 tens. Is 15 smaller than 10? Well, they both have 1 10, 1 10, 1 10. But 15 then has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones, and 10 has 0 ones. So if they have the same amount of tens, but 15 has 5 ones and 10 has 0 ones, which is larger? 15 is the largest amount. So are they in the correct order? No, because 15 is larger than 10. So Tim is incorrect because 15 is larger than 10. Okay, year 1, your worksheets for today are on the screen. You can copy these off here, you can download them off the school website, or you can collect a copy of them from school. If you'd like to complete them now, and then come back, if you'd like to complete them and send them in, that'd be fantastic, but for your work sending this week is from Tuesday. It's great to speak to you, year 1, and I'll speak to you later in phonics or tomorrow for some more maths, or even more excitedly, I'm going to see you in school in less than 2 weeks. Bye, year 1.